welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I am finally back to posting, you guys. So first off, I want to say I am so sorry for not posting for such a long time. I actually just finished grade 12 and had my graduation a couple of days ago, so I'm on summer break, and I promise you guys I'll try to post as much more as I can during the summer. But today, you guys, I'm coming at you with another scary video. So you guys know that I did the 3 King and Red Royaldo ritual, and that I did the 7 Deadly Sins ritual on my channel. But today, you guys, I'm coming at you with a paranormal item, which is known as the mysterious Dybbuk Box. So, a couple disclaimers I want to put out before we get into the video is that this video deals with religion and it's obviously scary, so if you guys are not okay with that, feel free to click off. Also, this doesn't deal with my religion, so I just want to put it out there that I'm not going against this religion. I'm not putting hate towards it. I'm not saying this religion is bad, and I'm not basically putting this religion down. I'm just simply sharing what I found off Google and what Google is saying, but I'm not going against this religion. I'm not putting hate against religion. It just doesn't deal with my religion, so I just feel I have to put that out there. But I'm not against this religion. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying any hate for this religion. I simply just want to say that this is over my religion, so I just want to put that out there. Also, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Also, give this video a big thumbs up, and comment down below every video you want to see during the summer, and if you want more scary videos, and I will do them. But now, let's get into the Dybbuk Box. So, I'm going to read like a little blurb for you guys that I found off a website, and then I'm going to talk about the history. We're going to get into an eBay listing of the Dybbuk Box. And then we're going to talk about the Dybbuk Box resurfacing to the top of the internet. And then we're going to get into a marking of haunting about the Dybbuk Box. Okay, let's get started. From Jewish folklore to an eBay purchase that left a man in a tidal wave of bad luck, Dybbuk boxes are wine cabinets, claimed to be haunted by a Dybbuk, a malicious demon said to hold the power to invade a possession of a living person. Auction Dybbuk boxes will usually come with some sort of backstory and a certificate document, such as well as a paper sign that states, under all circumstances, do not open. So what exactly is a Dybbuk box? Where did the legend start, and how in the world did a man in California get his hands on one? So pretty much, the definition or straight up meaning of a Dybbuk box, I found it right here. So the Dybbuk box is a wine cabinet claimed to be haunted by a Dybbuk. So it looks something like this. A concept of Jewish mythology. The box gained notorious when it was auctioned off of eBay by an owner who created a story featuring Jewish Holocaust survivors and paranormal claims as a part of his eBay item description. So pretty much, the story that I heard, or the history that I found, was that somebody got this box from her grandmother, a Holocaust survivor, who warned her to keep it shut. Like, she told her, keep the box shut, do not open it, like, don't open the box at all. And she basically told her that it has a demon in it called Dybbuk, who was summoned back from the 16th to 17th century, I believe, if I remember correctly. And he was called by accident and imprisoned in the box. So she told her, she's like, keep it shut, don't open it, put it somewhere, like, on a shelf, on a cabinet, like, do not touch it, don't open it. And after the box was put up for sale, the new owner decided to completely ignore the warning and opened up the box anyway. And that's when things started to go wrong. So after tampering with the box, his house was broken into, but nothing was stolen. So a robber broke into his house, but didn't steal anything. Like, his house was completely left untouched. The only thing that was broken was obviously the door. And after that, I heard that he passed the box on to his mother, who had a stroke within 5 minutes of receiving the box. And then everybody else who had the box said that they felt sadness, they felt like a weary, they felt like this kind of like weird like air around them. So pretty much what a Dybbuk is, it's a malicious spirit who tries to sort of find its way into like a living human being. So pretty much what it says here is Dybbuks are basically malicious spirits looking for a warm body to call home. So what could go wrong when buying a strange box with a Dybbuk inside comes up on eBay listing? So it's basically Dybbuks are malicious spirits who try to find a human body that they could call home, that they could stay in. So it's kind of like, I don't know how many of you have heard of the game Light as a Ferris has a board, but it's pretty much like a spirit entering inside your body. So that's pretty much what it is. If you guys want me to talk about Light as a Ferris has a board, comment it down below and I'll do it in the video. But it's pretty much a spirit trying to find its way into a human body, and it's known to be a malicious spirit. So now we're going to get into the eBay listing of somebody who actually bought this box. Okay. As the story goes, a Dybbuk box appeared in 2003 when an antique store owner bought the vintage wine box from a 300-year-old Holocaust survivor on eBay. After a strange string of unexplainable hauntings, recurring nightmares, bruises, and smells of smoke for no reason, the box found its way back onto eBay and landed in the hands of a man. He too felt the wrath of the box and ended up burying it somewhere, but not before pulling it out of the ground to appear on a television show called Ghost Adventures. He states that, "The day it arrived, I put my hands on it and it almost feels like the whole thing collapsed into a liquid state. I felt a knife was coming into my gut and I was paralyzed in pain. When I go to bed, I have terrible dreams that encounter the box." He said he first heard about the box from a colleague whose roommate had listed it for sale after a string of terrifying events. The box is said to have come from an Oregon estate sale of a Holocaust survivor. The person who bought the box at the estate sale was told that the box was always shut and set in a place that was out of reach. It was never to be opened. He paid $280 for the box, and when opened, contained a goblet, 2 locks of a hair tied with string, pennies from the 1920s, a dried rose bud, a cast iron candlestick holder, a gradient statue engraved with Hebrew letters. He said he didn't believe any stories associated with the box and didn't have any worries when opening it. So, like I said, he originally came from a Holocaust state survivor, and it was always shut and said to be kept somewhere out of reach. So pretty much just like, I'd say like a painting or something, where you just put it there and look at it and you don't touch it. So it was said to be closed, it was always shut, never to be opened, and to be somewhere out of reach, somewhere that you can't touch it. And the new person who bought it, he completely ignored the warning and didn't have any I'd say worry when opening the box. He didn't have any worry. He was like, I'll just open it. Like, he didn't believe in any stories that came with the big box, because he heard stories from his colleague, he heard it from the person he bought it from, he heard it from the Holocaust survivor. So he heard stories about it, but he didn't believe any of the stories that came with the box. So he's just like, I'll open it. Like, I don't have any worries when opening the box. And that's what led to a lot of problems. After he acquired the box, he became very ill. He called it a tidal wave of bad luck. He stated that all of his issues vanished when he followed the advice to place the cabinet in a gold-lined wood container to negate whatever entity was inside. He now keeps the cabinet inside a military-grade case, which he buried. Thousands of folks have offered to buy the box for any price, but he states that it's unethical for him to sell it. So he took the advice from somebody who knows about the stuff in the Dybbuk box, and they basically told him to keep it locked in a gold-lined wooden container, and to basically keep it locked inside, and then he buried it. So everybody, like, a bunch of people came forward saying, I'll take it, like, sell it to me, like, give it to me, but he's like, I'm not gonna give it to anybody. And he also told nobody where he buried it. I believe it's somewhere, like, I believe he lives in the U.S. I believe it was buried somewhere in the U.S., but he won't tell anyone where he buried it. It's sort of like now he doesn't want anybody to take the box because of what happened to him. And he also understood after why there was warnings about not opening the box, because he became very ill after. He would wake up with bruises all over his body. He'd have night terrors, which honestly, night terrors are a lot worse than nightmares, you guys. Like, night terrors don't even come to the extent of nightmares. I'm pretty sure all of us have had nightmares at least once in our life before, but night terrors are a lot worse. And honestly, I'm speaking from what I heard because I've never had night terror before, but night terrors are a lot of a worse level than nightmares. Nightmares are simply just nightmares. Night terrors are a lot worse. Like, some people sometimes wake up to night terrors and they feel paralyzed. They can't move, but they're still conscious. Something leads to sleep paralysis. So night terrors are really bad. Like, it can lead to sleep paralysis, which is not something good. So the fact that a box was able to cause night terrors is just very, very concerning. So the box is resurfacing. He states that he isn't worried about the box's resurfacing. He believes that the Dybbuk's unfinished business is finished. In fact, he now believes that the Dybbuk Box's energy has reversed so much so that he calls it his personal fountain of youth. And states that his vitals are better now than they were when he was 40. He attributes his enhanced feeling to the haunted heirloom. So the person who bought this box and now buried it, he says that he's not worried about the Dybbuk Box resurfacing again. And he feels that whatever unfinished business the Dybbuk had is now finished. So he isn't worried about it. He's basically saying that after all that happened, he got rid of the box. His vitals and his, like, I say, like, his entire body is a lot better than he was when he was 40 years old. Okay, now the market of hauntings. Today, the market is full of Dybbuk boxes. Boxes are on online auction marketplaces such as eBay for as low as 20, some as high as 1,000. He states that most of these boxes are fake, just made to be a creepy counterfeit to show off to your friends. He says that there are only a few real boxes in the world, but who in the world would take the risk? So pretty much, there are actually Dybbuk boxes for sale on eBay, and some of them are real, some of them are not. It's just some of them are real and like you can actually buy them, or some are just like antique pieces to show off to your friends. So now I'm gonna get into basically what like my personal opinion on the Dybbuk box is. So I know about a lot of scary paranormal items, like the Annabelle doll, for example. We all know there were 3 Annabelle movies. There was Annabelle, Annabelle the Creation, Annabelle Comes Home. And actually, one thing that I find really interesting about that is that Annabelle, the real doll, was kept in the Anne and Lorraine Warren's Occult Museum, the Warren's Occult Museum, but now I believe it's somewhere locked in a case in Italy after they both died. Unfortunately, they were actually my favorite paranormal investigators. They were real people, and they were in every single like scary movie. They were in Annabelle, they were in The Conjuring, they were in like so many terrifying scary stories. But for example, Annabelle, like we know like the story of her, we know like what happened, we know it's like a spirit of like a little girl, I believe. If you guys want me to get more into Annabelle and actually research depth into it, I will do it for you guys. We also know, let's say like the Ouija board, we know that's a spirit that you can contact. So I feel one thing that I find really interesting about the Dybbuk box is that nobody knows how this spirit was summoned. I honestly could not find out how it was summoned. I don't know if I didn't do research or if it never really was, but the Holocaust survivor told her grandmother told her that it was accidentally summoned and imprisoned in the box years ago. So pretty much the Dybbuk box just has a kind of malicious spirit that's trapped inside, and you shouldn't open it because it's kind of like a Ouija board. You open a portal, and if you keep that portal open, that spirit is still there. Whereas if the box stays closed, just like the Ouija board, that portal is also closed. So pretty much, after the guy got it off eBay, he kept on feeling ill. He felt like, pretty much that like he couldn't breathe. He had bruises when he would wake up. He had reoccurring night terrors, and it was honestly just not a good experience for him. A lot of people said that with the box they didn't have good experiences. But honestly, I feel the box has a lot of different things that also deal with any paranormal object, like Black Mirrors, for example. I haven't done that much research on Black Mirrors, but I know that Black Mirrors are also a kind of like possessed relic that's at haunted museums. There are actually a few real Dybbuk boxes that you could find in haunted museums around the world. Also like Robert the Doll. That's a doll that's also in a museum locked in a case like Annabelle. There's also a bunch of different haunted dolls, haunted items. I feel the Ouija board is the one haunted item that a lot of people can relate to. I personally never had experience with the Ouija board, however my family has. I know that my dad, when he was younger, he went to the beach, because we used to live in Egypt. He went to the beach with a couple of family friends. And one of his family friends got the Ouija board. He obviously didn't play with it, but he saw a physical Ouija board in real life. My mom and aunt, they went to a friend's house who had the Ouija board, so they've seen it, they just never played with it. I actually have seen the Ouija board once. It was like, I think it was with my like ex-best friend somewhere in like a toy store. It wasn't really a toy store, it was more like, I don't know how to describe it. I don't remember exactly what store it was, but like I saw the board. It was like in a box, it was just on the shelf, and I got so creeped out because I remember I was just like, okay, like that's a Ouija board, like it's the board that like has demons in it. I was just like creeped out, like I didn't sleep for like a week after that. Honestly, I feel the Dybbuk box is just something that you should be careful, because I always say this when it comes to releases. I say don't mess with spirits, because you don't know what you're dealing with. You don't know if the spirit will be okay. You don't know what you're letting take control of. Like if you open it, you're basically inviting it inside. Like there's a reason the box needs to be like kept shut. So if you're opening it, you're inviting it inside. You're basically telling it come. So I feel with the Dybbuk box, you just need to be careful, because you're talking to a spirit, you're inviting a spirit inside that you don't know what its intentions are. Actually, that says like a Dybbuk is a malicious spirit. So you're inviting a malicious spirit inside. So I feel you just need to be careful when like doing the Dybbuk Box and shouldn't ignore stories or warnings that you hear about it. I honestly don't know how many real Dybbuk boxes there are. To be fair, I can't tell the difference between a real and fake Dybbuk box, but I have seen a lot of Dybbuk boxes on sale for eBay. And it's true, they do range from like $20 to $1,000. Some less, like, but I feel like some of them are just to like show off to your friends, like be like, oh look, I have a Dybbuk box, where like some of them are actually real. But also I feel that Dybbuk box is one thing you shouldn't joke about, just like any paranormal thing you're doing. Like I said, when we talked about the Three Kings ritual, I mentioned that you have two mirrors, and mirrors are known to act as a portal way. They're basically known, like, there's always a saying that mirrors don't break, they multiply. So pretty much, like, mirrors act as like a portal to the other side, pretty much. And pretty much the Dybbuk box is technically keeps spirit locked inside of it, so you shouldn't open it because you're opening a portal. But when I talk about Three Kings ritual, I said you're dealing with a spirit. Same thing with Red Door, you're dealing with a spirit. 7 deadly sins, you're dealing with spirits in every single different sin. So this one you're also dealing with a spirit. And I feel that what some people mess up a lot is that they think that a spirit can't hurt them if they're polite to it. I've actually, like, I have this conversation a lot with my friends because we're all like so deep into the paranormal. But we were having a talk about this, and we were saying that a lot of people feel that like, if you're kind to a spirit and you're not insulting it in any way, it can't do anything to you. And that's not true in most spirits. Like, Ouija board spirits always need to be kind to them, obviously, because you don't know what you're dealing with. You don't know if it's a good spirit. Also, some spirits will act violent if you're to disturb their sleep, because you're basically like, when you say, is there anything here that wants to talk to us, get attracted for a spirit that's around. So some spirits will act violently. So Ouija board, you always need to be kind. But the Dybbuk box, it doesn't matter whether you're kind or not. It just says that you shouldn't open it. Like, you're keeping something trapped inside. It's simply like you're keeping anything trapped inside. Like, you're basically having something trapped inside that box and you can't open it. I don't want to go too deep into the Dybbuk box just because I don't want to say something that's not true. Also because I don't know a lot about it, and what I researched was just very like brief. But that's pretty much it for today's video. I just want to make a quick video to you guys about the Dybbuk box, and I found it pretty interesting. If you guys want a full like movie about the Dybbuk box, go watch The Possession. It's such a great movie. I honestly really enjoyed the movie, and it's honestly very interesting. It is a bit scary though. I think it's rated PG-13 or R. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember. I watched the movie a long time ago, you guys, but it's a really good movie. And honestly, I just feel that the Dybbuk box is something that you shouldn't tamper with. Like, you could have one and just keep it out of reach, like it said, and not to open it. But I also just feel that like you shouldn't tamper with something that you don't know its true intentions. I do, however, want to make a video on the Ouija board, you guys, because that is the one thing that I really sort of, I have to say, dug into when I was young. Like, I remember the Ouija board in grade 6, you guys. My class was a weird class. They always talked about Ouija board and paranormal stuff. So I do want to make a video about that. If you guys want me to go forward and actually do one, comment down below, and I will do a crazy amount of research on the Ouija board, and also based off what I already know. But that's pretty much it for the Dybbuk box. I just wanted to give you guys a really brief thing because I felt that it needed to be addressed. But yeah, I mean, it's honestly very interesting. I honestly really liked researching about it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a very quick video. Make sure you comment down below whatever you want, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Love you.